Hey everyone, how are you? My name is Alex, and welcome back to my channel. So, as you can see behind me, things have obviously changed dramatically in my house in this world. This is not a episode for the great outdoors. And I'm sorry that this kind of spoils things, but it also kind of doesn't because you have no idea how all of the things behind me transpired, and you will see that in future episodes because the series is not going anywhere, I promise. So, the reason why I sound like I'm in a good mood is because I am in a good mood. For the past few months, I have not been in a good mood, and because I'm in a good mood again, that is why I feel like finally talking about everything that has transpired over the past few months since I last made an update in May. And it's important to understand that I've gone through a lot in the past 3 months, primarily at my job. And things that have transpired at my job, I can't really go into detail because it would breach confidentiality, and I'm not going to break confidentiality regarding my students because that's career ending and also extremely inappropriate. But what I am going to say is in May, everything was great. I had a wonderful co teacher. Things are wonderful. That co teacher became really unreliable in terms of their attendance, which did not help. Another co teacher that I was working with became really insubordinate and was creating a lot of problems in the classroom. I had a discussion with that person about it. I let them know point blank that they had disrespected my authority and that their behavior was unacceptable. I mean, I phrased it a little bit differently, but that was basically my gist was like, please respect our authority, meaning myself and the other co-teacher, because we're not going to do anything that's going to harm the children. We're there to take care of them, and we're actually making the right choices for them. And also, this was somebody who's a teacher's aide, so it's really not up to her to decide how the classroom is run. That's my job as the head teacher to do that. It was just a basic, blatant disrespect toward me and my skills as a teacher, as well as my authority in my contract. My employment contract says that I can make those decisions. So she ended up quitting after we had that discussion. And, that's fine. I really don't miss all the problems that she was making. Well, they decided that they were not going to keep me in a head teacher position and that they were going to hire somebody else to do that for that classroom, which it took everything in my power when they met with me to not scream in their faces about that, because it's like I had been busting my butt for months, helping these kids and doing things for them and showing them that I could be a head teacher, because this is not my first head teacher position. I've done this in the past. I was a head teacher when I was in my mid-20s a long time ago, and things went fine, so it's not like I don't know I can do it. But I had to prove that to them. So I had done that, and they were like so thankful for all the work I had done, but they wanted to keep me in an assistant teacher position, which made me want to eat my face. So I'm like, all right, so when is this teacher going to do a working interview? And it's like, oh no, she's not going to do a working interview. She's just going to start working. Child Care 101, or I should say Early Childhood Education 101, or any child care for that matter, even if it's just daycare. You do working interviews because you need to see how people work with the children. You also need to see how they work with the teachers that you're planning on putting them with, because if you don't do that, problems happen. So she comes in, and the co-teacher that I had been with, she flakes and just doesn't show up for work. So I'm stuck with this woman who doesn't know any of the kids in my classroom, who really doesn't also know what she's doing. Like, it was pretty obvious that she couldn't roll with it even a little bit or really do any of the work, which was exhausting because it's like she's the head teacher, but I have to be the head teacher, even though my contract says I'm not the head teacher anymore. and I have to give her direction, and she's not taking direction, and she's trying to do it her way, but she doesn't seem to understand or care that she kind of can't because this is day one, and she doesn't know these kids or the classroom routine or anything about how this school does things, because this center's a little bit different from other schools. So there's that. It was like, wow, they gave me a moron. This is great. So I I was so mad, and then I was like, I took a step back, and I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't be mad about this. It's her first day. She's being thrown into a situation that is probably really uncomfortable for her. Let me be nice and roll with it and work with her. And I tried to do that, and I was very nice to her. I mean, knowing what I know now about her, she didn't deserve me being nice to her, but I was nice. I tried really hard to help her out. I tried to work with her, tried to talk over things with her, offer her advice and information about the school and the kids and how we do things, and things just kept getting worse and worse and worse. She was really not doing any work. Like, she had been with the kids and me for a month, and she would not do any work. She literally sat on her butt and played with her cell phone and her computer all day. She clearly did not care about those kids. And then an incident happened which was extremely negligent on her part and the part of this other co-teacher who decided to come back. So that happened, and I can't go into detail about that. But it was bad. Like, it's the sort of thing that people should get fired over, but nobody got fired over, which is ridiculous. And it was at that point when I realized that they not only gave me a complete moron, but they gave me somebody who does not care about the children at all. It wasn't like one of those oopsie kind of mistakes where it's like you think you have a handle on something and you realize you don't. Like, this was just blatant negligence. Like, there was beyond like preventable. This was something that never should have happened. And the fact that it did happen was just, what on earth? And I'm sure it's very hard for you guys to take me seriously talking about this with the way that the villagers keep gathering around me, but I swear to you, this was horrible what occurred. It never should have happened. It really put the kids at risk. The school is very lucky that the parents didn't sue. They're very lucky that the parents didn't pull their kids out of the class, because if I was a parent and this had happened to my child, I'd pull my kid. And a whole lot of other parents would too. I've seen far worse situations that are the same as this incident happened in the past, and parents have pulled their kids and sued the school, and the school has almost gotten shut down. So I know how these things typically go. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the way that our admin chose to handle the situation. It was totally ridiculous. It never should have been treated as nonchalant as it was. And, like, we're not talking about merchandise here. We're talking about human beings. It's the same kind of ridiculousness as when people leave their children locked in cars and the kids die from heat exposure. It's the same kind of negligence. Like, it's not the same issue, but it's the same, like, it's not the same kind of incident, but it's the same sort of negligence. And it's just, that happened. And that, trying to get admin to understand how serious things were. There were other incidents that were occurring. Other teachers were coming to me and saying, hey, I see this going on. What's happening? Like, why is this occurring? I'm really concerned. What can we do about it? And me trying to give them advice. And don't you know, admin tried to say that I was gossiping. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that they were trying to say that I was gossiping when people were asking me for advice and pointing out to me that things were happening when I wasn't there, that things that were serious. And I mean, yes, they should absolutely bring those things to admin, but it's okay when you see something to say something. I mean, that's literally one of the rules in our employee handbooks. You see something, you say something. Like, I don't understand why that is such a difficult concept. And, again, all of this has transpired because our admin don't know what they are doing. Or they think that they know what they're doing, but they don't. And it's a level of incompetence that I'm really tired of dealing with. So that happened. And then they decided that they were going to move me to a different classroom, and it's better now. because of that. I'm glad that they moved me. At the same time, the previous class that I was with, I'm not with them anymore. Their parents are really upset about that, and they have every right to be. I miss those kids a lot. I mean, there's a lot of things that were happening in that room that I do not miss. There are a lot of behaviors that I very, very much do not miss. But the kids themselves, I worry about them constantly. I'm constantly thinking about them in addition to the students that I've inherited. So, yeah, I have a lot of kids on my mind right now, and it's not hard on me. I want to point that out. It's not hard for me to think about multiple kids all at once. I do that all day, every day anyway. I've been doing that for 15 years. I'm used to it. But what bothers me is it's just I'm afraid that my former students are not going to get the education that they deserve and that their parents are paying for. And that's not right. So all of that transpired. It was a horribly stressful situation for me to be in, and because of it, I really didn't feel like doing anything. I mean, I've been in a creative slump for months because I wasn't depressed, but I was very just exhausted. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't have energy for anything. I didn't have energy to video edit. Just nothing. Like all of the videos that I recorded after my last episode that I posted, the episode about the Creatures and Beasts mod, like all of that footage is still on my computer. I just haven't edited it yet. Like I haven't put it together, cut it down, or anything yet. That's like it has just been sitting there. So I don't want anybody to think that like the series is going anywhere, because it is. It's just like, you know, I just haven't had creative energy. I haven't made any miniature doll houses in a while. I haven't done any writing, like nothing. There was also an incident that happened about a month ago. Actually, a couple months, was it a couple? No, it was about a month and a half ago, where I was being harassed on social media. Somebody posted my personal information online. It was really scary. I mean, I went through that as well. I was not a fan of that. And that happened. So that compounded things quite a bit. There's also, I started classes at Charter Oak, so I'm there, and that's fun, and I enjoy it very much, but it is a very heavy workload, so I'm basically spending all of my evenings during the week working on coursework, and then I come home on the weekends and I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything because I'm exhausted because I'm a college student. So I'm just being a slob on the weekends because I don't want to do anything else, because as much as I love video editing, at the same time it is kind of like work, and I really don't want to do work. So now that I'm feeling better, I am going to jump back into editing tomorrow, and I'm going to edit a video for Friday of next week, the next episode in this delightful series that I miss working on. And in addition to that, because I really do miss working on it, and I also feel really bad about the fact that I haven't touched it and haven't said anything, but I think you guys as subscribers have kind of gotten used to me, like, just disappearing for a while, and I think you've kind of let me get away with it, so it's just sort of what I do. And yeah, but in any case, there's also a miniature documentary that I'm working on that is related to 9/11. And part of why I'm doing it is because I was very recently 9/11 happened, and I thought about it several days ago, and I thought to myself, I think I need to make a video about this because I need to talk about my own personal experience with that event and what that was like for me. I was 14 at the time, so I'm doing a documentary about it. I don't know when that's going to be done. I don't know 100% if I will finish it and post it, but if I do, that's going to be on this channel, and I know that that is a dramatic change from what I do on here, but it is something that I will be working on. It's just something that I feel like I need to do, so I'm going to do it. So that's basically that. And that's the gist of it. So, yeah, I'm not going to go outside in this world. I'm not going to show you guys anything other than the inside of this house because I don't want you guys to see anything and be spoiled any more than you already have been. Don't do that! It took me a very long time to acquire you, villager. Do not do that. It is naughty. No suiciding allowed. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys very much for watching, for all of the subscribers that I've gained on my hiatus. I thought for sure I would lose people, but I logged in and I realized I had more, and I was like, where did all of you come from? What have I not been doing that has attracted people so much? Like, what on earth? So I am so thankful that you guys have stuck around and that you have been patient. And, you know, I really want to get back into collaborating too. I really do. And I will probably do that with, like, the Hexacon crew at some point. I mean, Hexacon is no more, but, regardless, like, that doesn't mean I can't still collaborate with my friends, so I would like to do that soon. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it'll happen. So, yeah. In any case, I want to thank you guys very much for watching and supporting and being awesome and commenting and liking and subscribing and all of that awesome stuff that you do. This poor guy's going to kill himself behind me. He's going to do that, and it's going to be horrible, and I'm going to be very upset because it took me a very long time to get these villagers. So, with that said, I want to thank you guys very much, and as always, I will see you guys next time.